Okay, folks, so this is Acid Roots. We're going to talk about Jeremiah's album, All About You. So, with this project, he managed to get a couple of singles out, two of them, but one of them didn't chart that high, and the other one charted extremely well. Now, this is kind of the thing. If you look up information on Jeremiah, he's known for usually about a handful of big hits, but up until his album Late Nights, he really didn't get multiple hits. So that's something, and that stands to reason on this album, which is All About You. It's pretty much known for the song Down on Me with 50 Cent. And, as far as I'm concerned, there are more songs on it. So this is definitely something. This was kind of sandwiched in a place where R&B was, you had Drake, of course, who was kind of doing touches of R&B with rap, but we also had some people who were just doing R&B, and that's, Trey Songz had Bottoms Up around that time, and so some of these cats were starting to do this better, but rap and R&B was kind of getting blended, but also in a way that said, can these guys carry an album by themselves? So it was a quiet point. We didn't have like huge breakout artists around that time, but I'm just trying to think back to when that was. Like, usually, that was before streaming was really big. So obviously you had, the songs were what you heard, and then you had to dig up the rest of the information yourself. So things have changed, in the time that's passed, and I guess what I'm trying to say is that R&B is starting to get more and more prevalent. Before it was usually just known for like the one or two hits on the album, but this is kind of one that I feel like got ignored a lot more than it should have. So this is Jeremiah, and like I said, the best known song on this project is Down on Me, but there is a lot more to it that needs to be heard. So it's good to go back a few years and check out some of these albums. This is a good idea, mainly because if you've blown out Drake, if you've blown out The Weeknd, this is definitely something to go back and look up. Best of all, Jeremiah has dropped an album as of 2015, so this is definitely something worth noting. So as far as the production on this album is concerned, it does not have club songs as much as one would think. It's more concerned with what happens perhaps afterward, more so than just, I guess you could say flossing. Just doing that sort of thing, stunt, whatever you want to say. These are more songs concentrated on what you're doing, you know, kind of vibing. That's the best way to put it. Just relaxing, sitting on the couch, whatever. And in a lot of ways, I do like this. This is definitely something that I would prefer. And, as opposed to saying, well, I'm always out and about, it's not always the case. And so this is definitely good that albums were able to indicate this back in 2010. But at the same time, if you just want to go out, there's not many songs that do it. I'd say Wanna Get Up is one of those I like, and All About You. So those would be the three outgoing ones. Maybe Down on Me also. But so as far as the songs you need to hear, the unheard songs, so I like 6 out of 11. And those 6 songs were All About You, Down on Me, I Like, Waiter, The Five Senses, Wanna Get Up, and Sleepers. Now I'm going to note, I did not like the song Five Senses. It's actually 2 songs on song number 6. I liked Waiter. Now I'm going to talk about a few more of these, like Sleepers and Waiter, and then, well, yeah, Sleepers and Waiter. Both of these are kind of the more at-home songs that I was telling you about. And I'd also say that, Love Don't Change might be another one. And beyond that, maybe Down on Me. That one was kind of in between. Just because you heard that song does not mean it has to be, the single is always the outgoing song. So it's a nice touch knowing that you have some of these songs. But there was one song I was on the fence about, and that was X's and O's. I was really trying to figure out how the piano type beat on the song, where that would kind of come in as to where I was playing it. I'm thinking at the house it's not really that soothing, but it's also not that energetic either. So it was, it's confusing as far as what instance you would find to play that song. But it's hooky, and it's definitely a song that would be good if I knew how to approach it. So basically 7 out of 11 just about is still pretty solid. So the score, I'm going to give this a 6.5, just because 6 out of 11 is about, a little bit more than half, but then that extra song is just going to get a 6.5. So 4 songs. Basically, if it was just 2 songs more, I'd give it a 10. I guess I could give it a 7 because there's only 4 songs, but then, there's not that many songs on here anyways. But the singles are good. There's actually 2 released from this project, and they are worth getting attention. But Jeremiah, it's more for being with women more so than groups, like males with women versus you with women. That's one thing to note. So as far as songs that you can play with the guys, it doesn't work that well. But it's to be said that it almost feels kind of consolidated and more isolated with what you're doing. But I did not have a problem with that. So that's just something of note. That, obviously there's club songs, but Down on Me is definitely not one of those. So just know that if you haven't heard the song and you're thinking it's going to be a big bottoms up type song, it's not. So the future, Jeremiah dropped an album, and that came out, and I'm getting ready to review that, so that's on the way. The social score, like I said, I'm going to give it a 6 social, just because, well, I'll give it a 5.5 because there was only one big song, and the weight of the songs is kind of dicey as far as who can listen to it. But I do think women will like it, and there's plenty to go around. So that's, those are good things. It's good R&B. It's just something to note. Let's see. Yeah, can it be topped? I think the answer is it could, but this is still above decent. So subscribe for more fun. I give this album a 6.5 and a 5.5 social.